Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 8th of February. So let's start off looking at the news as ever. What's coming out today? Well, it's not a great deal. It's a continuation of the dribbles that we've had. The problem we had, I was just discussing this in the room, is that we've got a lot of speakers that are due out today. Now, unlike bulletin numbers or things like this, which are, there's a hard number and you can judge by the hard number. The trouble with speakers is when they're speaking, of course, unless we got this speech beforehand, but even then you can read it and it will start off in one direction and follow the other. That's the problem with what we've got ahead here. So quite a few speakers just to be aware of. Bank of England speak, I'm not so concerned of, but certainly this is probably the one that's going to really move the market this afternoon. But certainly some of these Fed speakers and ECB speakers could cause problems to the market. So just be wary of it as much as anything else. We've got to trade at the end of it. I say got to trade, don't have to trade, but it's best to be trading if you're a trader, as long as the market's okay and the setups are there. Right, let's look at the technicals then. The euro dollar, well, the big picture of the euro dollar is still down, although we've now 2 days up and we're on the third here. It's a lovely little flaggy sort of pattern that's at the bottom here. Whether this is going to roll over, we've got another couple of hours before this particular one finishes based on its time frame. You can see it's into its there's plenty of resistance in terms of different pivots there. It's into its R1 on the dailies. The pivots are so pinched now. Yesterday, a horrible little choppy day. It's drifted through the Asian session to the upside. There's positivity for stocks. It's not so positive for anything else when it's like this. So equity markets may be doing a bit better, or the US certainly. Okay, so at the moment, just really looking at this in the short term on the euro there, really needs some sort of breakdown, probably below the daily pivot to get any sort of for me to get into that on the shorter side. Need a bit some patience this morning. The pound, well, you can see that the hourly is pretty much the same. The pound I have a bit more of a bullish perspective on, with the sentiment and everything that fits with it. It's we've been seeing more positive data. Consolidated where it is at the moment. It's consolidated around its high of the current move. If it can break the highs there, maybe this is the one that sort of pushes up just that little bit more. Having said that, yesterday was pretty flat and it has just literally gone through flat. There's not a lot of movement here at all at this moment. Just got to wait for something. Patience. We spend a lot of time being patient. The US dollar yen, well, this is back knocking on the door of those highs there again. At some point I think that's going to break sentimentally and fundamentally and technically. It's all aligned here, so it just needs that break. It's a bit more of a swing if you're looking at that. Potentially it's had quite a move this morning actually, but it would expect further upside there. Aussie dollar, the Aussie's teetering on nothing. It's still hanging around this previous trend line I drew across here around the neckline of its head and shoulders pattern. It looks like it could be starting to go, but hardly particularly convincing at the moment. Like the other markets there, it's just breaking its 50. Maybe we'll see a continuation. I'm expecting more consolidation and maybe more sideways action, but we need something really to drive it. We haven't got a lot of drivers here. It's a lot of indecision. US dollar, Canadian dollar, well, that has been skipping down merrily away from that triple top. But even that, at some stage, we could see it bouncing and pushing back up there. If we see the US dollar continue with a bit more strength this morning, we could even see it running through on that. It's been slowly running its way down there. It hasn't hit the daily pivot. A run up to that, well, maybe it could be a sell point. If it breaks its S1, could also be a sell point, but it was a quarterly pivot right in the way. This big white pivot underneath, quarterly pivot. it's been dancing around that for some time. Tested it back here, been testing it. It might just give support to the market at the moment, so there's certainly the risks for further downside on that. New Zealand dollar, it's been testing my patience, so it certainly has done that well. Still in this trade, short on it. If I was looking to add in, or I won't be looking to add in, I can assure you, but if I was looking to enter a trade on this, it would be below the 4-hourly 34, etc. Below this area, I need something more convincing to be sitting there taking an entry in the first place. The reason why I won't be adding in is because I'm not already 1% up. I'm still sort of, it's just hanging in there. If I was 1 or 2% up, I'd be looking for an add in, but you're looking at the bigger picture, it still looks like it's got the potential to roll as it sits at the moment. If it starts pushing up much further than where it is now towards that pivot level up there, I might have a bit less belief in the price action. Dollar Swissy. Now we've sort of knocked on the door here. We're coming in, but we're not really coming in convincingly. It's pushing up there gradually. It's just a patience game with this one. It could be running off this morning. Nice move off its daily pivot at the moment. It's all aligned, and that could be the trade for this morning, running up towards its R1. So yeah, I'll keep the best of the last. So there's the potential. Some cross pairs have really kicked it this morning. Euro yen is flown. It's done what it's going to do. Euro CAD, well, it's not done much at all. I'm sitting in this change of structure or anything. Patience. Right, I'll leave it on that note there. Let's just have a quick look across into gold and oil and then the indices. So gold is just trapped between the old pivot there, that level. It's just sort of meandering between the two levels, and it's sitting in the middle at the moment, so nothing to be done on that for me, at least. Oil was hoping for something a little bit more of a move up to the underside here yesterday, but it's really slacking again, slowed down, didn't do too much at all yesterday. You see the hourlies, as I say, just got to be patient, wait for it. There's plenty of time to do back testing and all those jobs that you need to do as a professional trader. S&P is going into new high territory, and well, I wouldn't want to be backing up against this. I know there's people every time it pushes up there thinking we'll sell it now. Please do not go shorting the market at the highs here for your own good. It's there you go. Well, you do what you like. I'm sure there's people looking at little divergences and things on these markets, but look, this is a Nasdaq still pushing up. The Dow's a bit sluggish, but relatively, but still heading up there. They're not worth the money to risk against it. Markets that are struggling more, of course, the DAX. Well, the data, German data is not fantastic. I can understand this a little bit more. We've got an untouched monthly pivot. Maybe it will draw down. I haven't done the measure to see how much further this should have gone for the depth of the descending channel, but at this stage it's not hanging on to the coattails of the US markets, nor is the FTSE. It's certainly sticking in with some sort of divergence at the moment. Whilst I wouldn't want to be selling it from where it is at the moment, I wouldn't really want to be looking to buy it either. It's just ugly at this stage. Right, I'm going to leave it there. If you want to come join me in the trading room, you can do after 8:30. There's a link at the bottom of the video here. Just come in and join, and just say hello. That's all I ask. Take care, and I'll catch you later. Bye for now.